Hi YouTube. Today I wanted to share a few thoughts I have about these Chanel eyeshadows. They're part of the Illusion d'Ombre range, which Chanel put out, I think, last year for the first time. Certainly I bought one of these when I was on holiday last fall, and I bought another one after that, and most recently one about 3 weeks, a month ago. And they've had rave reviews on various blogs and in the press and magazines, and initially I was very impressed with them indeed. This is the newest one I got, which I'm going to show you for a reason first. This one is called Émerveille, or Émerveille. I don't quite know what that means, not being a very fluent French speaker, but it's a very nice kind of coppery, light coppery shade. And if you've seen these eyeshadows, you'll know that they're a very unusual consistency that's kind of midway between a cream and a gel, and they apply with a lot of luster indeed, but without the sort of glittery fallout. They apply to the eye beautifully. They feel like almost a soft leather. That sounds really strange. It's almost a fabricy feel as you touch them. And you need the smallest of amount. I apply with my fingers. They come with a dinky little, very nice brush that closes up so that you could put it in your handbag, but it's not very big. You couldn't really use it for applying anything other than eyeliner. Certainly not these, which you tend to want to put on the whole lid, socket, and possibly brow bone area. And you can apply them as a very light wash when they just give this pretty illusion of colour. Or you can use them as a base to put other powder eyeshadows on top of. Or you can really pack them on and they will give a bit more of a punch of colour. And so they've had, as I say, great reviews, and I was pretty keen on them. But they have a major problem that I have only just started to discover. I had read that people said there is a problem of them starting to come away from the sides of the jar. So I was very careful always to screw the jar top on really tight to stop them drying out. Now this one, I don't know if you can see, this was bought earlier this year, possibly in February or March. This shade is Epatante, which I've worn possibly the most of any of them. And you can see that even though I've worn it a reasonable amount, you know, it's barely dented. But the gel is starting to come away from the sides of the jar so that it's becoming more like, you know, sort of disc in the centre. But, you know, not too worrying because there's still quite a lot in there. Again, this is a beautiful shade, same gorgeous texture. Look at that gorgeous sheen. And comes on as a sort of khaki sheen. I've worn that a lot. Very pleased with it. And I'd like to wear it a lot more. Now this is the initial one I bought, which is called Phantasme, and it's a beautiful silver, quite glittery shade, which the sales girl, I bought it in New York in fact, kind of advised me against because she said it would be the least useful, very much a party shade, because it's a very high sheen, which I will show you. And you can see that I haven't really worn it a lot. There's no impression made on it at all. It's absolutely gorgeous. But there you see, I mean, it's full on glitter. It's a real party shade that I've just used a few times when I'm going out in the evening to highlight under a brow or in the centre of my eyelid, giving some contrast. When you put it on, you know, it's like fairy dust. If I was a teenager again, I'd be wearing this every day, but I'm not, so I don't get a lot of use out of it. But I did take it out the other day to put a spot on, and that's what happened. It has come away shrunk basically, from the glass jar, so that it's basically just a dwindling disc of glittery sponge that is obviously just going to dry out to nothing fairly soon. Now, as I say, these don't come cheap. I think they're about £26 or the equivalent. So £250. You know that you're always going to pay when you buy Chanel, partly for the absolutely gorgeous high quality packaging, which includes a jar that really does up to, one would think, be airtight. And I can assure you I've screwed it on. And you buy for, you know, this new revolutionary technology, as well as the fabulous colours. But to be honest, I don't expect something to be drying up like that. Not fast enough for me to not have thrown away the receipt, so I'm going to have difficulties taking it back, although I shall certainly give it a try. I'm not going to take it back to where I bought it in New York, but I'm going to take it back to another Chanel outlet and see what they have to say for themselves, because that is unacceptable. I'd be interested to see if the same thing is happening to other people. I've read, as I say, about the shrinkage from the edge of the pots, but not to the extent that, you know, is happening there. So I'd be interested to know if other people out there have had the same experience or worse. Is it particular shades? Can we kind of work out what the common denominator is? I know people say that MAC paint pots, which are a slightly different texture, do dry out very quickly. And I've never bought those, never used them, so I don't have any personal experience. But I've read that people say it helps to store them upside down for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm going to try with my other Chanels, which I keep in a drawer out of sunlight, see if that works out. But any thoughts that people have, I'd be interested to hear. I mean, I still really like how these apply, and I guess the lesson I'm taking from this is that I'm going to have to use them really quick to get my money's worth, because they're just not going to last, which is a real shame. But I'm not sure I'd buy them again. Maybe look to try one of the other premium brands that are bringing out similar products. I've heard good things about Tom Ford's latest cream pot range, although I think it's a slightly different consistency, maybe a bit more stable product. So any feedback people have, let me know below. I'd be really interested. Keep on having fun with the makeup. Bye for now.